Welcome to Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A Visa debit card. Show your Wildcat spirit and get your free debit card today. Visit them at hughesfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Weekly with head coach Sean Miller. The Wildcats home this week to host Oregon and Oregon State Thursday night and Saturday night at McKale Center. Coach, your team is 20 games into the season now. Your team's scoring is up. Scoring is up all over college basketball. There's been some rule changes, etc. Is the game better right now than it has been in years past?
You know, I don't know if it's better, Brian, but I think what everybody has tried to do with our game, less interruptions, shorten the total duration, make it more friendly on offense from the perspective of freedom of movement, calling the fouls that impede that, making it more of a skilled game. That's the track that our game's on, as evidenced by there's 3 or 4 possessions more per game. And I think there's less stoppages, at least I feel that way, and scoring is up. So I think when you look at it from that perspective, I think that's good, and I think it will only continue to move more in that direction.
You've used the phrase attention to detail, talking about your team preparing for games. Could you go into depth a little bit about when you talk to your team about attention to detail, what are those details that they need to keep an eye on for every game?
Well, I would just say this to you. It's like running a business. Everything you do matters. The minute that you overlook a certain aspect of your business, you know, all of a sudden problems start to seep in and creep up in other areas that you would never have thought would be touched. And it all started by the details of this one small thing growing and growing. And we've all heard the analogy, you do the little things right, the big things take care of themselves. You don't do the little things right, you're going to one day have big problems. And you know, everything from scouting, which, you know, looking at what are the things that the other team is going to do when they take the ball underneath out of bounds their basket, to how hard we play the game effort-wise and fouling. You know, are fouls coming, are they good fouls? Are they basketball fouls? Are they lack of concentration fouls? So everything we do on offense, turnovers, everybody focuses on that, but a lot of times your turnovers are more a function of your lack of execution. You know, Brian, you're supposed to set a screen and you missed the screen. Well, the pass was intercepted. It didn't have anything to do with the passer. It had everything to do with if you would have just done your job and screened the defense, the ball wouldn't be down the other end. That really was a problem against Cal. And the number one problem for us against Cal was they played harder than we did. They were more together, and that hasn't happened a lot to our teams over the last several years. You know, we look at that as our responsibility. And that responsibility wasn't met. And when you lose a one-point game, I think you leave there feeling that you could have done more.
True fans live for their team. They buy the gear, they order the tickets, they pay for the seats and the experiences. For those true U of A fans, thankfully there is Hughes Federal Credit Union, offering the latest payment choices such as U of A debit cards, paying online, paying a friend with pop money, or using Apple Pay with your mobile phone. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union, smart choice.
Wildcat Basketball Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union.
You've got the Oregon Ducks coming to town on Thursday, currently tied for first place, and you've made it very clear you believe Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12 right now. Why so?
Well, they have balance. They're a good defensive team, and they're also a good offensive team. If you look at their front line, you know, a year ago they played small. They didn't really have that back-to-the-basket scorer or rim protector. Well, they fixed that, you know, through their recruiting, and Jordan Bell's a year older, so they have more frontline experience, talent, both on offense and defense. And obviously from a guard perspective, they have a number of players that can score both from the three-point line and drives. And they have an excellent coach. I think they believe in themselves. They're a confident team. They're a team that always plays hard and has great energy. And it will be, in my mind, the toughest test that we've had in McKale in a long time.
This is Coaches versus Cancer weekend, and I think everybody watching has been touched in some way by that disease. What does it mean to you as a coach to promote this fight against cancer?
Well, I think it's great that we have a united front, that our game of college basketball, where so many people love to watch both on television and in person, can make the word awareness as part of our game. Awareness towards a disease, like you had mentioned, that has to have affected all of us at some point in some level. And I think, for us, the fight as a group of coaches is to try to do more and try to help that cause, whether it's dollars towards research or awareness towards child cancer. There's so many different forms that affect people. I think for us as a united group of coaches, for everybody to know that we care, and that part of us caring is to be able to do some things to help the cause, as opposed to just sitting back and not taking advantage of the stage that we all have.
Cats are home this week. They've got the Ducks on Thursday night, 7 o'clock tip-off at McKale. Saturday night, Oregon State at 7:30. We'll see you again next week on Wildcat Weekly.
Thank you for watching Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card. Visit them at hughesfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.